Yeah, shall we start? Am I audible, guys?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, very good morning to ladies and gentlemen. So, today I take up this opportunities to introduce Mr. Paras Behel in our today's webinar. So, Mr. Behel is basically a chartered accountant by profession and has an experience of around 9 years in the field of equity research and the portfolio management. He's an investment advisor and registered under Security and Exchange Board of India and has accumulated vast knowledge about Indian industries and having understanding about projecting the industrial growth across the various sectors and the various dimensions in the economy. Basically, he's responsible for stock picking and suggesting ideas to the subscribers and to the clients. He's presently working as a director equities in PA Wealth Advisor, which is currently in the business of wealth management. The company is managing the asset worth across rupees 350 crores. And also the company has the clientele base in India and in 15 other countries across the globe. So now I would like to Mr. Bahel to enlighten all of us on how to make money in the stock market, which is the subject for today's webinar. So over to you, Mr. Bahel, and we invite you on in PCT Group of Institute. Yes, over to you, Mr. Bahel.
Yeah, very good morning, all. Thank you, Himanshu, for a kind introduction. So I'm audible right now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So thank you and thanks PCT. I would like to thank PCT Institute for inviting me and hosting one of the hottest topic for nowadays in the lockdown period, the how market reacting in the lockdown and now current period. So we'll now discuss in the lockdown. If I just say in the lockdown period, nearly more than 6 million participants, new investors or participants came to the market in this March to October period, just the span of say 5 to 6 months. So it's a huge, even now, after this also, only 2 to 3% of the total population is into the financial markets. Just it's a very hard fact about the Indian population, which is being the persons which are participating in the stock markets. So now, so we will start with, I can say, 1 second. So is have the standard disclaimer: all the contents of the presentation is only for the information of the participants, not to be construed as an investment advice. Please consult your financial advisor before any action on any stock or any advice being discussed in the upcoming presentation. So now about us, Mr. Himanshu has already told about some of the things about the PA Wealth Advisors. What do we do basically? PA Wealth Advisors is a wealth management organization which is currently managing more than 350 crores of investments across India and other 15 other countries of NRI's wealth basically. We're a team of CA, CFAs and MBA finance working as a hardcore team for the portfolio management and the equity research part basically. We have more than 2,100 plus clients across the region. And we have a detailed research blog. We'll talk about this later in the presentation itself. So now about me, Mr. Himanshu already told, I'm a chartered accountant by qualification, having a 9 to 10 years experience in equity research and portfolio management. And I'm a SEBI registered investment advisor and is responsible for the stock picking and suggesting stock ideas to the subscribers of the PA Wealth Advisors. And moving ahead, what will we cover in this presentation, why we are here in this webinar. So these are all the topics which we cover: myths about the investing versus trading, some examples of multi-baggers, the past multi-baggers, and the main core subject is how to pick companies by fundamental analysis, and the famous investors to follow, investment strategies, what we have to follow, another our investment blog and our services, and what are the key learnings. You have to wait for the last key learnings and recommended investing books, which will actually really help investors to gain knowledge and gain good from the markets itself. So now coming with the first topic, what are the various myths about the stock market investing? Basically, every person needs quick money. So one can, what are wrong? Firstly, I will be wrong, then I will improve, fix that wrong part. जो myth है उसको, I'll correct that. People think one can be rich by just buying shares in few days. People need fast money, but it's not like that. Actually, investing involves, actually you can make or create wealth while long-term investing, a minimum investing of 2 to 3 years. It it needs a lot of patience to make money in the stock markets. And as you all say, the second myth is the panic. The, we are emotional with our investment. Basically, you can see the lockdown, the 23rd of March, that was the lowest point in the last decade. You were seeing the market was hit around 35% to 40% in a single month. So panic due to short-term fluctuations, we get emotional with our wealth, but rather we should actually work on fundamentals, whether it is right to buy more or sell. So we have to see that. So, and the third myth is the people look stock market investing as a speculation, but it's not like that. Actually, it's a very in-depth research, and this we have to follow risk management strategies to actually gain out of the markets. So next is the investing versus trading. What is the basically, if I talk about the different part, people say ki I need to you must be, all of us heard Warren Buffett, the largest investor of the world. He has created his wealth from the last 30 to 40 years at the rate of 18 to 19% CAGR, which is 18 to 90% compounded annual growth rate. People say, one journalist asked him ki why you have only 18 to 19% CAGR, so but you are the richest person of the entire world, entire investor community mein, he is the god. So he says just one answer: because nobody wants to become rich slowly. That is the only mantra in the stock markets. If you want to achieve big in the stock market, you have to be patient, you have to be disciplined enough to attain a good wealth in the stock markets. And most importantly, your money should be invested in the right place actually. And now moving forward to the investing versus trading. So there are two types of scenarios. Some people are investing and some people are trading. Investing is based on the in-depth research of the companies that results into long-term wealth creation, and the basic, if you pick the quality stocks based on the current based on the valuations, and it's not like buy and hold forever. This now that theme is gone. Buy and hold forever. Actually, buy and track and then hold. Buy, track and hold. Buy, track and hold. Otherwise, sell. If there is an issue with that stock, sell. So there is nothing like that. So but in case of trading, there are short-term calls for a few follow technicals, or hearsay means पापा चाचा uncle say कि ये stock ले लो वो stock ले लो, that doesn't help actually in long term. So there is no you can say 100% sure move in the trading part also. So now we'll move forward. As investing mein, what the things happens, the compound interest. Basically, as Albert Einstein says, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. There is a reason behind it. So, and why long-term investing is a way to create a huge wealth. So I just start with the examples moving forward. This is the chart of Sensex over the last 40 years. 1980 or 1979 was a origin of the Sensex 100, was the base of 100. It is now 340x in 40 years. It increased at a CAGR of compounded annual growth rate of 16% per annum. So you can see the huge scope of compounding in the stock markets. But obviously it's a volatile, it's like a heartbeat, but in a upper parabola, you can say. And it increased at the rate of 30% CAGR. 2001, the price was 1.89 rupees, and now today is 805. These are some of the multi-baggers of the past, just examples. The Asian Paints increased the shareholder wealth at 28% per annum. Not per annum, because there are a lot of hits during this journey, but if you take about 2001 and 20 years, there is a huge wealth created by the management of the Asian Paints. And most importantly, the management of the Asian Paints from the origin didn't change. Abhi tak the same management is managing the company, which is in the last 20-30 years back also. And the HDFC Bank, as we all know, it's the wealth creator of the decades. 2001, it creates the wealth at the rate of 23% CAGR. So, and Nestle India, one more example, it increases the wealth at the rate 21% CAGR. So there are some, these are all, you can say, the huge wealth creators of Indian stock markets. Pidilite, the Fevicol brand, you can say. These are all, why this, how to pick these out, then we will cover in this the next presentation, in the upcoming presentation. So how to pick companies, हमें ऐसे companies कैसे मिलेंगी? That's the point, that why we are here. There are two types of analysis basically. First one is fundamental analysis, second one is the technical analysis. We will now cover only fundamental analysis because we are will not cover here. So we'll start analysis. How to pick companies. Basically, you have to read. You have to read a lot. Basically, Warren Buffett, as per Warren Buffett, he reads 500 pages a day. So you can imagine what kind of reading required for the fundamental analysis, you can say. So firstly, how to pick companies. Shortlist companies based on the strong financial performance in the past. Let's say you want to you invest in a company like you are becoming a partner in that company, not for speculation. If you want to actually create wealth, and then please the annual reports. All reports are on their websites, on the BSE portals, or on the Money portals. There are a lot of portals available online, so from which you can download the annual reports and read for that. And specifically read and consult the management con call transcripts, where the management themselves speak about the current situation, about the future expansion plans, and there are a lot of stuff to study in the con call transcripts. Basically, conference calls happened every quarter after quarter. And now we look out for the various fundamental research checklist. So first, the management. The most important part is the management. If the management is right, you can say if the management right, it can take a bad company to a very great company. But the management is wrong now, so it will shatter the company, even if it's a very, very high worth. So management, what we have to look for the management part, their integrity, their structure, their success going forward, actually salary they are charging from the company. What is the track record for the last 10 years? The most important, either whatever side they read the con call transcript, they tell about the future plans. Either they are telling the future plans and they actually achieving those plans or not, going on the same path or not. That means walk the talk. And the last is most important, is skin in the game. Skin in the game means actual, the thing is, one second. Skin in the game means whether the management has the ownership in the company or not. If the management has the ownership in the company, he or she will do his level best to achieve the targets, or to achieve the next deadline. So actually we have to see he is the ownership in the company or not. That's why the companies, listed companies or private limited companies distribute ESOPs, employee stock options. So they should have a ownership feeling. They are the owners of the company. So now you can say the PSUs. There is just an example where want to invest in the PSUs, public sector units, because management stake, there is no management stake. The government is having the ownership, and the guys are managing the company, but they are not having any you can say stake issues. So they just, in the past you can see no PSU has created wealth over a long period horizon. No doubt short period may must have let's say ISBI or a PNB let's say falls down, and then some people invested in that particular company. But you can see the difference between the SBI and the HDFC Bank. You can see the difference yourself, which created wealth and which is not created wealth. And now comes the second part. First one is the management. We have done with the management. Second part is shareholding pattern. We have to see the shareholding pattern. The most important is the promoter shareholding. Whether the promoter shareholding, let's say there is a out of the 100%, as per SEBI, the promoter can hold the maximum of 75% promoters, 75% shares into that company. You have to see whether the promoter is having the actual stake or even just 10, 20 or 30% stake into that company. So a company invest worthy has to be minimum of 50% promoter holding. Then we will invest for that company. Basically, every investor has different criteria, but we have criteria minimum 45 to 50% should be there. Uski wealth apni lagi honi chahiye. Then only we can invest in that company. And you should be looking out for the big institution investors. What big investors, like you can see the Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, Ramesh Dhimani, like there are a lot of investors. So whether there are any institution holding that company, see whether there are changing in the shareholding pattern. You should look out ki whether the promoter is not, sometimes happens ki the promoter is selling shares on a daily basis or a monthly basis out of his company itself. So we should stay away from those companies. The promoter is itself not bullish on this company, so why we should bullish on that company basically. So next thing is bulk deals. Bulk deal means whether then it is again coincident with the big institutional investors. And the buyback, we have to see their buyback strategies, their bonuses, their stock splits. Sometimes happens, like you can see the Berkshire Hathaway. I'm talking about the US market. Berkshire Hathaway, it's being run by the Warren Buffett. The Berkshire Hathaway shares is more, its single share is more than $350,000. It comes out to be 2.5 crores in Indian rupee. So that person split ही नहीं किया तब का. They didn't split their share. So they, or if I talk about the Indian industry, there is a company called MRF Tires. Their single share comes out to be 75 to 80,000 per share. So they didn't split their share. But the low integrity promoters, or like you can say, they want their share to be low unit value, like 1 rupees, 2 rupees, 3 rupees. So ज़्यादा trading हो सके. But so we have to basically aware of those promoters which have doing these kind of acts. So now the third part is distribution channel. This is a part of our scuttlebutt approach. How we research companies. We have to we will be checking the distribution channels of those companies which we are investing for. Like what is their geographical presence, their expansion plans, or where is the market? There's a North player, like or a global player or a full India player. We have to see that basically thing. And the fourth part is moat. Moat means the edge over their competitors. Like just an example, Sugar Free is is the brand of Zydus Wellness, and upside it being promoted by Cadila Healthcare. So that means the Sugar Free is having the 90% market share right now. So there is no competition basically. It's like monopoly kind of thing. So ever you have heard of any other which is this kind of, you can say, the sugar free kind of product? No, never. So we have to see these kind of you can say franchises to look out for ki we should invest in these kind of companies jahan pe they have kind of make monopolies out of their businesses. Like the example, DMart is having just 200 to 250 stores across India. It's being the share name is Avenue Supermarts. It's being promoted by Radhakrishnan Dimani. So what their pricing strategy, they keep their costs lowest. Marketing department so low that the people tend to buy their daily needs from DMart. Another one is the HUL, into the you can say the FMCG. It's the largest distribution network in India in FMCG. You visit any department store, you get products of HUL. So why this is a moat? Moat means their competitive advantage over others. So we have to actually see these kind of things before investing in a company. What is the competitive advantage basically? So now the market share, it's again similar kind of thing. Like just an example, Orient Electric is the second largest player in fans, 16% market share in the Maharashtra, 19% market share in. So it's in South India. So other example is V-Guard. It's having the 37% market share in voltage stabilizer industry. So this is the kind of moat or their business model they are working on right now. So which gives their, and you can say undue advantage, or you can say the advantage over their competitors. Next thing is the industry entry barriers. So invest in an industry where you can see not enter into industry is not easy. Like you can say in the NBFC sector or banking sector, no new bank, or you can say, comes and take over the competition like anything, because still people rely on HDFC Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, you can say the large big bank, IndusInd banks. So there is small banks also, but you after 10 years all small banks will be winding up, and as you all know, PSUs may still going on, the mergers and acquisitions and the amalgamations are going on. SBI at after 10 years we may see only SBI, Bank of Baroda, PNB in PSUs, and the all the private sector banks all across India. So, and look at these entry barriers before investing, whether whether a new competitor can enter in the market easily. If it's easy to enter in that industry, so be aware of that industry. So look out the other industry to invest for. The seventh point is the peer comparison. So there are a lot of companies, like just an example, there is a, you can say the tire industry. If I talk about the tire industry, MRF, Apollo Tires, CAT Tires, JK Tires, or these are four key players in the industry. So keep on doing the peer comparison. Why MRF is better than Apollo Tires? Or there is a company called Balkrishna Industries Limited into the heavy tires. So keep doing on, you can say the peer comparison, keep why that company is better than this, why that company is better than this, all based on the financial parameters and on the non-financial parameters. So we'll that comparison must before investing in a company. We don't have to look only jo sasta hai wo theek hai. No, this is not like that. Sometimes a 20 or 30 or 40p stock is better than a 10p stock. So we have to look out for that particular thing. So now we were talking about the non-financial parameters. Now we come to the financial analysis, basically. What have to see before investing, like the performance ratios, the ROEs, return on equity, return on capital employed, the turnover ratios. The minimum criteria of us to invest in a company is minimum 15% then it goes to a checklist, otherwise it is out. So we have to see the margin ratios. This is a peer comparison ratios, like what is the EBITDA margins, what is the operating earnings before interest, depreciation and taxes, what is EBIT margins, what is their PAT margins, like MRF what is the PAT margin of MRF, what is the PAT margin of Balkrishna Industries. So based on those analyses, we tend to invest in the companies. So you can see the growth ratios, the net sales growth ratio, the EBITDA growth ratio, the yearly. We have to see Y on Y basis, quarter basis, year on year basis. What is the PAT growth? What is the EBITDA growth? And the most important, the debt equity ratios. Whether see the company, some company anything, but there is no fun of that. If debt is increasing at a very higher pace than the growth rate, so avoid that those companies basically. So it will be a debt trap going forward. Or you can see the current ratios. There are a lot of we have covered just few ratios. There are a lot of ratios to look out for. This is just an example to give you a gist key what we have to look for. So now after that, the ratios, the most important is the cash flow analysis. Most of the people look out for net profit. जो profit and loss के नीचे net profit दिखा है, they will look out for this. They will look out the net profit y increase, but not. This is not the right way of an analysis for look out for net profit, because as we all know, as a chartered accountant, net profit can be easily be manipulated at any time. We have to see earnings, cash flow from operating activities, because it actually nullifies all the effects. Like a company, let's say, this is just a very important example. Let's say a company has a sale of, let's say, 100 crores on credit, nothing realized. Net profit will be increased by 100 crores, as because the P&L will be credited by 100 crores. But in the cash flow from operating activities, it will nullify it effect because the increase of the debtors part. So cash flow of operating activity will nullify it. So we have to see the cash flow of operating activities rather than the net profit. This is a very important point to in the fundamental analysis. So next part is the so we covers some of the points like financial, non-financial parameters, how to study companies for long-term investing basically. Or for Warren Buffett is the American investor, a business tycoon, a philanthropist, and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, which I have already talked about. So he is the largest and the biggest investor out of the world. And in India, there are Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. So he manages his own portfolio. This is just an example who created their wealth out of the stock markets to take you just how market works for these kind of people. So now we move forward. The investment strategy. What should be our investment strategy in the stock markets? You can say it's a Warren Buffett quote: "Be fearful when people are greedy, and be greedy when people are fearful." So these lines are very, very important. They're very, you can say, easy to pronounce, but very hard to follow. In March, you can see in the March 2020, how many people invest at that time. So you can see the value of this term. Be fearful. When the euphoria is there, be fearful with your money. When greed or when the March like sentences or the market is, when the people are fearful, I will not invest, I will not put your money into the market at that time. Best time into to invest in the markets is when the quality stocks are available at discounted prices. Just an example, at that time, Kotak Mahindra Bank was at lower circuit at $1,000. Now it's around $1,900. So you can see markets are, you can say, are so volatile. So you have to be very, very, you can say, you have to not to be emotional with your investment, I must say. So now this is just another part of investment strategy. How should we basically invest our money? Never go for one-shot investment. Add on your investments over a duration. Let's say I have I have a 1 crore of rupee with me. I just want to invest right at one go. Nothing like that. You have to increase your portfolio slowly and steadily and in a diversified manner over the industries over a period of time. And based on the asset allocation, never put all your eggs in one basket. This is not like it. I want to you pick a company, I am bullish on that company, I will invest 100% of money in that company. This is not the right investment strategy for that. You at least have to diversify your portfolio, your asset. You have some money in equities, you should have some money in debt part also, you should have some money in gold also. So we should have all asset classes, that so you never know which runs faster, because every asset class has its time to move. But in longer period horizon, the wealth creation is there if you are invested in the right pockets. So now there is a very good dilemma, I must say, ki whether should I go for the direct stocks or whether should I start with the mutual funds. So there are two questions in everybody's you can say mind. If you want direct stocks, go for the direct stocks, but you should have time to study and research those stocks, not based on the hearsay. That person says pick this company, that person says pick this company, without any logic or without any criteria. So you should not buy that particular thing. In direct stocks, if you are investing, you should have patience to go for minimum. We are saying 2 to 3 years, but long term compounding is going to happen in 5-10 years if you are investing in the right particular company. So basically, if you are not having any time for study or research or thing, go to an investment advisor just with your goals. Basically goals, what is your goal? If you have your money for 1 year or 2 years, never go for these stocks. That is the debt funds is the right pocket for you. So, and same as the mutual funds, why should we go to the mutual funds? Let's say if you don't have the time and for the research stocks, go through the mutual funds route, because mutual funds are being managed by the fund managers, are renowned fund managers, are like CFAs. You can say the very capable fund managers which can increase your money on your behalf. So you can start with small, any monthly SIPs or quarterly SIPs. You can tend to say the huge diversification. One mutual fund scheme tends to invest in around 50 to 60 stocks. So you can see the huge diversification. And please, this is a very hard fact. Almost beware of mis-selling by your bankers, your relationship managers. Hota kya hai, the point is, there is a hard fact coming in the last week only. 95% of the investment products being sold by the banks are missold. So this is a very hard fact. Relationship managers they don't know anything. They just have to sell you a product. That's it. They know about your goal. They don't know about your risk profiling. They just have to sell based on their targets. So beware whenever any banker pitch your product. Okay, sir, this is the product you should invest for. This is the product you should invest for. Please consult your financial advisor before proceeding anything. So because and or you can say go to a trustworthy MF mutual fund advisor. In the next part, some do's and don'ts. Don'ts: never work on tips, never be emotional with your investments, never take investment advice from the bankers जो मैंने आपको अभी बताया. Never take advice from the brokers, from the stock brokers. Because stock brokers work on commission model. You buy, sell. They work. They make their commissions. They are not concerned about their money or your wealth. So don't take investment advice. Obviously, you have to open a account with the broker itself, demat account. But don't take investment advice from them. कि सर वो ये stock आजकल अच्छा चल रहा है. So this is not like that. So beware of those particular tips basically. Always go to a professional advice from a SEBI registered investment advisor, that are not concerned with the commissions. They are concerned with their actually wealth creation, and obviously the fee structure is there. But they are concerned with they will provide you unbiased investment advice, not based on the commissions itself, I must say. And the next part is about the PA Wealth Advisors. We have a research blog of you can say this is blog.pawealthadvisors.com. It's our company's research blog. You can see a lot of companies being covered under. This is freely available. You can subscribe to that blog by putting your email ID. This is a very detailed research blog. You can see the points which I covered now in the last half an hour. So it's been covered in that in a detailed manner. So to give you a gist, you can see how we have to study the actual stocks में क्या देखना होता है. It's a blog.pawealthadvisor.com. So now coming forward, these are our service verticals. Basically, we are into equity advisory, the mutual funds advisory, the insurance planning, and the financial planning modules. We have 4 verticals over in this company. So all one-stop solution for all your investments basically. And going forward, we are open for Q&As. And now after the Q&A session, I will move forward to some key learnings and the highly recommended books on investing. So stay tuned for that particular thing. So open for question answers. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Paras. Obviously, stock market is one of the hottest topic of nowadays.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of questions in the chat box. So I'll be taking up these questions one by one.
Yeah, sure.
So we have the first question by Mr. Mohan Preet Singh. He's asking that besides cash flow analysis, what other information from financial statements to be considered for selecting a right company to invest in?
Sir, see, apart from the cash flow analysis, you have to see annual reports. Annual reports, there are a lot of things. The first one is we have to start with the management discussion and analysis. There is a part in every balance sheet, in every annual report, what management is saying about his own company, basically. Usme hota hai, what are their current scenario going on and what is their future prospects. One is management discussion and analysis, and another part is director's speech. These are most key things you have to look out for. and after that the P&L, the balance sheet, and the cash flow statement. And the after the balance sheet, there are a lot of schedules with the balance sheet as well. So we have to drill down those schedules as well. We have to well, I must say 5 things: management discussion and analysis, the director's report, and the key financial statements, balance sheet, P&L, and the cash flows. That's it. If I talk about only the annual report part, that's point.
Yeah. So we have another question by Mr. Inderpreet Singh. So he's asking that which particular website, as per your suggestion, is good to read to improve one's own investment strategies.
So, for the there are some financial for brushing your knowledge, he's saying, or if I say about the for the on, if you want to only see the financial things like the balance sheets or P&Ls or something like, there is a very good website, screener.in, for that particular thing, screener.in, which you can find the past 10 sales, P&Ls, balance sheets in the past 10. You can see the cash flows and their peer groups comparison you can see. And for the learnings part, you can say that for the companies part, you can visit our blog basically for the research articles, basically to learn more about the companies as well. And for the other part, if you want to research the company, you have to visit their annual reports for researching part. But and most of the companies are covered in our blog. You can go to that particular thing for that.
Yeah. So next question is by Mr. Navketan Goyal. So probably he must have watched Scam 1992 and then put forward his question here. So he's asking that, is it true that mostly those people rise in stock market who has some kind of information, the insider information of the companies, and also how we can absorb the crashes in the market? So these are two questions he's asking. So whether only those people succeed who have some kind of insider information. And second question is that if there is any crash in the market and we do have heavy investments in the market, so how we can counter or how we can sustain during the crash?
I'll start with the first question. The person who are the type of person who will succeed in the stock markets. Basically, the most patient and the most disciplined persons are those persons which actually succeed in the market, because there are a lot of things. Obviously, insider is there. I didn't cover the technical analysis in this presentation, but if the insider is there, the stocks is moving. You can say people mostly follow the news channels basically to whether to invest or not. Basically, when the stock is out on the news channel, story is out, story is gone. Never ever follow any TV expert for your investments, please. So the thing is ki insider news, uh, because you can say there are a lot of news available in the market. You can say but the stock, we track that particular thing through their charts. When there is some interesting news now, that will be showing in the charts itself. Volume increases of their stocks basically. And plus you have to be disciplined and the most patient guy in the market to gain from the markets. People try to time the markets. That's where markets hurts them. Either it's the right time to buy, either it's the right time to buy or right time to sell. Don't try to time the markets. The biggest investor of India, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, he himself says, I can't time the markets. So who are we people want to time the markets? Basically, we have to be in the markets to gain from the markets. And the second question is, how can we handle the crash basically? So that question is answered in the presentation itself by the asset allocation. You have to do allocate our money in different asset class. We don't have to put all our money in equities. We never are in those favor. Let's say you have 100 rupees. Based on age, we follow simple criteria. 100 minus your age is equal to be your equity exposure. This is a thumb rule which we make around. 100 minus your age. As your age increases, you keep your equities portfolio, because after 60 years, let's say at the retirement age, you should reduce your equity portfolio because you can't handle the volatility. You need the fixed kind of returns. So if you are at the young age, you have the highest exposure in the equities. If you are going to invest for minimum at least 10 years, 3-4 years is okay. But actually, if you are going to invest through MF route, mutual funds route, you have to, if you are stay invested in a good company or a good scheme, stay invested for 10 years basically. So that way is actually wealth creates in that particular thing. So crashes, yeah, how can I handle, you can say, in portfolio debt should be there. Let's say if you have 100 rupees, put 60 in equity, 40 in debt, not 100% in debt, or not 100% or equity, or go through the systematic route month on month. Or if you have one time investment, park that fund into a debt fund and then move systematically on month. Let's say you park 100 rupees in a debt fund, make that STP, systematic transfer plans of 2 years, systematic. You don't have to time the markets now, so you will, the money will automatically invested in next 2 years over a time span. So आपको the rupee averaging will handle itself. So this by this way you can handle the crashes. Yeah.
So I hope Navketan has got the answer. So next question is more or less an open-ended question by Ms. Shreya Jain, and she's asking that what's your take on Reliance? So probably she must be asking about the performance of the shares by Reliance.
Reliance Industries.
Yeah, Shreya, you need to be very much specific about it. That
Yes,
what you are exactly which.
most probably it is Reliance Industries.
Yeah,
only.
it would be Reliance Industries only.
Basically, Reliance Industries. If I talk about disclaimer, I must be starting with disclaimer. We ourselves invested in the Reliance Industries from the, you can say, 450 levels. We exited at 1700 to 1800 levels. But based on, because we, as per us, we, no, हमें लगता है the juice is out, so we jump on the next opportunity. That's it. So, but the thing is, Reliance, there is nothing like that. Is the largest company of India. It's a biggest industry out. Is having the biggest refinery out of the world, and now the Geo comes. We are seeing the Geo demerging in next 2 to 3 years. So it must be demerger out of the Reliance Industries, and Geo will be listed in own way. But it's not 100% correct information. But the thing is, the future plans are looking like this. So you can invest in Reliance, but but not more than 5% or 6% allocation. That's it. Nothing more like that. But this, don't take it as an investment advice. Just normal information.
Okay, so another question is by Mr. Mohit Sharma, and he's asking that how you got to know that what is the right time to sell the shares?
So the right time to sell is only when your thesis goes wrong, or you think the price is overvalued. There are two types of scenarios only when you have to sell. We buy the share when based on a thesis, investment thesis. Okay, so we don't regret to be wrong. Basically, we're not emotional with the investments. If you're wrong, now exit the stock. आपका जो आपने जो लॉजिक आपने जो लॉजिक लगाया था मार्केट में, if it goes wrong, let it be. Okay, exit that stock. First criteria. Second criteria is this: the stock is being overvalued over. Sometimes markets are over discounting. You can say the next 5 years discount at this year. So we have to exit that stock basically. Overvaluation as such, there is not only PE matters, but there are a lot of stuff, financial stuff have to see whether there are a lot of stuff. You can say लोग PE देखते हैं सिर्फ PE price earning ratio, but there are a lot of stuffs to be seen whether expansion plans are over or not, whether they are some companies paying out the dividend 100% of the profit into dividends. So we see that means that reflect that the management has no expansion plans. They're just giving out, flushing out all its profits into dividends to the shareholders. So that way is also exit that stock basically. There are two types of basically companies: growth companies and some are dividend companies. So make a criteria कि आप किस company के साथ रहना चाहते हैं. That's the only point.
All right. So another question is by Mr. Vijay. So he's asking, sir, how can we find intrinsic value of the company, and how to calculate beta for cost of equity in open model? So probably he's asking some kind of technical. Is expecting some technical answer out of it.
Cost of equity as such, I must say कि cost of equity, how can it be calculated? It's the basically cost of debt plus cost of It's basically cost of capital, which comes out to be cost of equity plus cost of debt. Basically we focus on cost of debt basically. So debt part is mostly hovering around 11 to 12%, 13%. So that's why I was saying ki pick the companies which is having ROCE, return on capital employed, more than 15%. Answer is solved. Cost of equity go up, you can ignore that because more than 15% there is no loan in India. So 15% you can make a thumb rule. ROCE should be more than 15%. That's it. It's the thumb rule for picking up a company for our company basically. So we don't pick the companies which have ROCE, return on capital employed, which is less than 15%. That's the only answer for that.
Okay, another question that we have is, uh, so can I invest money by the help of technical analysis?
So you can follow technical analysis. Technical analysis basically it's the reading of charts. So people, lot of people do read the charts, but you can trade on basically in our criteria we do technical analysis only to enter and exit the stock. That's it. Only, but not for trading part. Traders use technical analysis for trading, buy, sell, for BTST calls or for positional calls as well. But the thing is, technical analysis is used for trading daily or intraday or something like that. But the thing is, only 1% of the persons who trade actually make money. 99 go bust. This is the hard fact of trading. Because if I say ki name any trader, famous trader in the markets, you have to scratch your head ki who is the trader which has actually made his money out of the trading, not from the AMC asset management business, out of trading. But you can name a lot of people which have make money out of the investing part. So there's a difference between the investing and the trading part. So we see always long term wealth creation can only be helped ki आप बने रहो market में. That's the only part. So you should read a technical analysis. It actually helps a lot before entering a stock. Either it is a good time to go for or to exit for. So it speaks a lot basically, but only
Correct,
to
sir.
enter and exit. That's it. But backed by fundamental analysis basically.
Yeah, so another question is by Ms. Harmeet Kaur, and she's asking that according to you, which is the best mutual fund to invest now, and how we can analyze which mutual fund is best. So probably she intend to invest in mutual
So basically,
funds. Yeah.
yeah. So there are more than you can say 45 asset management companies, mutual fund companies in India right now. So more than 3,000 schemes in the market, hovering in the market. So this is a very important question. Ki which mutual fund is the best? Basically, it depends on your time horizon, your goal, your perspective about the markets. So basically, we don't, uh, you can say, follow the any company like ICICI or HDFC or SBI. We follow the fund manager who is running the horse. हम बोलते हैं invest on the jockey, मतलब जो घोड़ा चला रहा है. That's the only point. अब example, there is a very good fund manager, Mr. Niresh Surana. He's running Mirai Asset Mutual Fund. He's a very good fund manager. Mr. You can say R. Srinivasan, which is running SBI small cap and SBI. You can say these kind of mutual funds, but not small cap is all for not good for all people. It's actually if you go for that particular thing, you have to remain invested for at least 5 years. And there are a lot of Canada Robeco is a very good fund manager, having fund manager very good. Some its a scheme is Canada Robeco Diversified Equity scheme is very good scheme. Mirai Asset, you can say Asset Focus Fund or Mirai Asset Emerging Blue Chip Fund, or you can say Kotak Standard Multi Cap Fund. So we basically see the fund manager who is performing. Basically, we read we do tend meet a lot of fund managers. Then we have coming up with a list of mutual funds. So I already spoken 3-4 names we can go out for, but mixed with the debt parts also. Always invest in mutual funds along with the debt part also. This is ICICI short term fund. अगर आपने let's example just for example आपने 1 लाख का portfolio बनाना है, if you want 1 lakh of rupee, go with the let's say 50,000 with the equity fund, 50,000 with the debt fund. So you can to handle the crash as well. So or plus go invest on systematic basis. So every scheme is good, that is good.
Yeah. So another question is by Mr. Arshdeep Singh. So he's asking that who change the stock prices, whether it is the company or the promoter or any other institute.
So stock price is just you can say are being handled by the market forces, buy sell buy sell. It's not being handled by any. There are operators, obviously operators in the market which having a lot of shares in a company, which do operate in those shares, but good companies are always grow in long term according based on their fundamentals and the growth. Basically market price is a function of what? PE and EPS, price earning ratio, and the earning per share. If you multiply these two, you comes out to be market price. So we have to हमें PE पे, we don't have to based on PE, we have to focus on EPS, earning per share. जिसकी earnings बढ़ रही है, the stock price has to have to rise. This is the way. Just an example, Asian Paints, उसकी earnings year on year बढ़ रही है. The earnings are increasing on yearly basis. So obviously the share price is going ahead and ahead and ahead. Obviously Asian Paint is not a recommendation, but it's just an example, you can say. If the earning grows, stock price grows, that's it. This is just, that's it.
Mr. Munish is asking, sir, what do you think about option chain in share market? Option chain.
It's about the technicals. Basically I'm into the fundamentals, so option chain, I can pass this question.
All right. So another question is by Mr. Harsh. How to select the stock for future and option?
For future options.
Yeah.
So it's a very hard fact. I have told you, only 1% succeed in the trading part. If you want to start with the trading, go with the options, not with the futures. In options, you have the limited liability. Let's say you buy a put or you buy a call option, you buy a put option. You have a limited liability कि आपने जो premium दिया आपको बस, that's the only loss you can, that it can be incurred. But if you buy the futures or short the future, so there is unlimited liability. So I'll not recommend F and O's basically to the students. Basically, it's like a क्या कहें, it's very risky basically. F and O's we don't recommend. But if you want to trade, go for the options, not for futures.
Yeah, further, Mr. Ashish is asking that, sir, in IPO, why there is always a minimum quantity of shares to buy?
It's a SEBI guidelines. It's by SEBI. Lot size is around 15,000. So for retail, and for HNA it's 2 lakh. So and investor and retail investor can only you can say apply for the IPO just up to 2 lakh of rupees. So it's just a SEBI guideline. It's not like fixed. It's just fixed by SEBI.
All right. So another question is by Mr. Mohit Sharma, and he's asking that Tata Motors is in losses, but big investors like Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, so they still are investing into the company. So he probably is asking for the reason for that.
So I don't know about the Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, but the thing is ki, the same thing happens. Greedy when people are fearful, basically. So just an example, we have invested our money in ICICI Securities. Example, just one example. When the profits were very low, the thing is the big investors invest based on their future prospects, not on current situation, because you are building your money for the future, for next 5 years, 10 years. So they have their vision. If they're investing in a stock now, that is not for 1 day or 2 days or 6 months or 1 year. They're investing for a big money. So they are looking forward at least 5 years or 7 years. That's why they invested in that particular stock.
All right. So we have the last question by Ms. Suprit Kaur. She's asking that what is the minimum amount of investment that generally a portfolio manager manages?
Basically, as per SEBI guidelines, as we are SEBI registered, so basically the minimum portfolio manager which the investment which can take up is 50 lakhs as per SEBI guidelines. But if you have less than 50 lakhs rupee, you can go through the mutual fund route, which you can invest just 1,000 rupee. You can start with 1,000 rupee as well. For the start, first, for the you can say the new investors, never go direct into the stocks. Go through a mutual fund route, take a gist of how things goes, take the beat of the volatility, then goes to the stocks. Firstly, go to the mutual fund route, hand over the money to the mutual fund manager, track him, track their strategies, track their portfolios, then go to the direct stocks. Otherwise, not recommended to directly jump to the stocks basically. But a portfolio manager can take, if you want a PMS, portfolio management service, you have to have 50 lakhs of rupees. That one.
So, Mr. Bharat, this was the last question. Now you can recommend the books as you told initially.
Yeah. So now moving ahead with the key learnings after the session. This is the some key learnings are: the stock market is a medium for transferring money from the impatient to the patient investors. जो impatient होते हैं, they will be they are gone today or tomorrow. But जो patients, the people who invest their money patiently in a disciplined manner actually creates wealth, because the Sensex has itself grown by 16% CAGR in the last 40 years. So even you are invested in Sensex or Nifty, na, so you are beating a lot of investors in the returns. So, and the second part is, if you have time and patience to actually study the stocks, only then enter the stocks, actual stocks. Otherwise, hire a wealth manager to manage your money, because you do your own work, you do your own professional, you do your own business, you succeed in your field, and you keep your money with the wealth manager who is a professional enough to gain that basically, because he's studying a lot, he's researching a lot basically. So put your money with the wealth manager, park your money with the wealth manager to invest your money. And the highly recommended books from our side is basically, there are two books. The student can take picture of this. The first one is The 100 Baggers by Christopher Mayer. It's a very good book for the who wants to read about this investing, how investing works basically. And the second is the 5 rules for successful stock. Some of the students have asked, how should we study the industry or the companies? So this book contains some of the criteria how to study, you can say, how to study companies or industries in the available in the market. It's by 5 rules for investing by Pat Dorsey by Morningstar. So you take a screenshots of these books. So it must be helping a lot of guys for investing part. And over now, this is just as PA Wealth Advisors, we are hiring for a client relationship manager, investment advisors. So you can share, if anyone, we have openings for the client relationship executives. We can share your resumes at careers@pawealthadvisors.com, and the mobile number is that. For if you want to build your career in the investments, basically, investment is avenue. So now, yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Paras. Obviously, it was a very interactive session, and obviously many queries of the students were also answered.
Thank you.
Now I will request Mr. Chuck Sharma to extend a formal word of thanks to our guests for today. Yes, Mr. Chuck.
Yeah, first of all, thank you a lot, Mr. Paras. As Himanshu sir said in the starting of the workshop, I too am investing in share market. And I can say that even for me also, the information, the points that you said were more informative. There were some points that, I even forgot that these points must be taken care of. But yes, obviously, you said the very right thing, that investment is patience. That's also obviously my view, that even to all my students also, I reiterate this point that the only thing needed in investment is patience, that you even reminded me, because a lot of times we people,
get emotional
and become greedy, that the more profits are coming, the share prices are rising, we can invest and so on. And
Absolutely.
for the very patient investors also.
Absolutely.
And that's the most important point, I would say, that you reminded of. Thank you so much.
Pleasure to be here, sir. Pleasure to be here. Thanks for,
Thank you so much, Mr. Paras, for joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks.
So, all right. So all the participants, so this is the end of the webinar. So now you can, if you do have further any queries, so you can be in touch with Mr. Paras Bahel, right? So he has already shared his information with all of you. His contact details are already there, so you can get in touch with him. Thank you so much,
Thanks a lot.
everybody.
Got to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very well. Thank you. Okay, bye. Take